We're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel here for June 5th. We got to heat back up, okay? Last couple days haven't been the best. Yesterday was just We're going to get back on the right track today here, though, on Thursday, June 5th for our 5 best bets, again, for Major League Baseball. And before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. A lot of day games today, so we're going to go over a lot of that. And then, of course, our daily Nationals Best Bet is going to come at the end of the video. Again, if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button down below for more. Go check out our NBA predictions and best bets for game number 1 of the NBA Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's, of course, tonight. So go check out that video. That is linked in the description down below, along with our UFC 316 predictions between Merab Dvalishvili and Sean O'Malley in the main event from the Prudential Center. So go check that out. Link in the description down below, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA if you have not yet. Okay, first game, I might have accidentally said it, or showed it, but here we go. We're taking the Royals money line on the road in St. Louis. I know what you're thinking. This is the same exact spot yesterday that we had for the Nerfy. I just found a better Nerfy today that I like, so I'm gonna pivot from that. So again, if you didn't know, Royals, Cardinals yesterday, the Battle of Missouri, it got rained out, so we're playing 2 today in St. Louis. This is the first of the 2 for the doubleheader between Kansas City and St. Louis at 10:45 a.m. at least on the West Coast, so that's what, 12:45 over in Missouri. Not the 4:45 game. We are picking the morning game or the afternoon game in St. Louis, Missouri. I like the Royals here a lot. If my camera ever wants to focus, damn. I'm taking the Royals here. There we go. I think Noah Cameron, again, I talked about Noah Cameron yesterday, and we're going to talk about him a little bit more right now. The guy's been so good this season. Is he due for some regression? Maybe. But, I mean, look at the 4 starts he's had this year. Against the Rays, 6 1/3, 1 hit, 0 runs. Cardinals, 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run. Again, it's going to be another matchup between St. Louis and Kansas City. In that last game that Cameron pitched, right, gave up 1 run. It was a solo shot. It was one of 2 hits that he allowed all game long. And unfortunately for Cameron and the Royals, St. Louis ended up winning that game 1-0. After that, Cameron pitches against the Twins, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run. And then the Cincinnati Reds after that, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 1 run. Somehow, some way, Noah Cameron, right, has a 1.05 ERA in the season and a sub-1 whip. The whip's actually phenomenal, 0.82. And yet his team is 2-2 in games that he started in this season. Yeah, they need to get the guy some damn run support. And even though I think, again, we are probably still going to see a shutout first inning from both pitchers in Cameron and Michaelis, I do think Kansas City is going to be able to score against the St. Louis starter. I know, again, St. Louis, we said this yesterday, I'll say it again, they've won the last 6 games that Miles Michaelis has started in. That's great. He's been good in these starts, but the last start that he had against Baltimore was not good. 4 innings, 9 runs, 9 hits, 4 runs. No walks with 3 strikeouts. Like, again, pitch to contact guy. I think if Kansas City can really get going, and you look at the game that they played 2 days ago, they played great. I mean, obviously everyone got on the board hitting wise except for Jack Caglione, and we expect that guy to, I'd be surprised if that guy did not pick up his first major league hit tonight in one of the 2 games. Let's hope it happens in the first one. But for as good as Michaelis has been, I think the Royals should be able to hit this guy. And look what's coming back at St. Louis. I like Noah Cameron a lot. I'm still not convinced on the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm not. This is a team that's currently holding a playoff spot in the National League. They're coming off that 10-7 loss to Kansas City on Monday. Obviously, the game yesterday on Tuesday got rained out. I still look at the St. Louis lineup and I say, okay, Lars Nootbaar, Mason Wynn, Brendan Donovan, Contreras, Herrera, Arenado, Burleson, Gorman, Victor Scott. Like, Victor Scott, obviously great defender, took that hit away from Jack Caglione in the 2nd inning yesterday or 2 days ago. Nolan Gorman has never really panned out, right? Arenado's not getting any younger. He's batting .225 this season. I like Kansas City a lot in this spot, and I like the pitcher that they're throwing tonight in Noah Cameron. And we look at Miles Michaelis versus that Kansas City lineup. Sure, again, I think, right, and I said this yesterday, right, I think Michaelis is going to get out the first inning unscathed, but if there was a spot in this game that I didn't like, and I said this yesterday why I had the Nerfy for the spot, I said, okay, well, I think, and I know Noah Cameron's going to get the 3 outs in the bottom half of the first inning. I know he's going to get Nootbaar. I believe he's going to get Wynn and Brendan Donovan as well. Obviously, the toughest out is Brendan Donovan out those 3, but if we're able to get Nootbaar and if we're able to get Wynn, I'm confident with Noah Cameron. But then on the flip side, I got concerned about Miles Michaelis, and the conclusion I came to was, okay, we're getting minus 135 odds for this. I think it's still good value at the line, right? And essentially, the way I see it, I'm playing minus 135 for Miles Michaelis to get 3 outs. I'm going to take those odds, right? Because I'm not concerned about Noah Cameron. Because, again, Michaelis, Jonathan India, Bobby Witt, Michael Garcia. We don't have to worry about that anymore. I still think he gets out that first inning, but I look, top to bottom for this Kansas City lineup. I'm telling you, they're so much better with Caglione now. They just are. In that last game, everyone had a hit except for Caglione. Wait until this guy gets going. He's hitting the ball. That first game, again, not a bad game for him at all. He kind of just got unlucky. He's hitting the ball fairly well, hitting it hard. It is what it is. Look at this lineup now, man. India, Witt, Garcia, Pasquantino, Perez, Caglione. That's a good 1 through 6. I know Salvi's been struggling a little bit, but obviously, again, Perez is still going to bring the power. I kind of like what Kansas City's got going on now, and their pitching has not been that bad this season. I'll say it's been pretty good. So I like Noah Cameron here, and I think the Kansas City Royals are able to win on the road here in the first of the doubleheader today on Wednesday against the St. Louis Cardinals. Give me Kansas City money line on the road at plus 115. Let's go on to our second best bet of the video. We move to our best player prop of the day. We're going to a Sean Burke pitching line here. His strikeout line today is 4.5. We're going on the over for this one at minus 115 for the right-handed pitcher of Sutton, Massachusetts. Sean Burke's hit this in his last 2 games. You look at the Texas Rangers start that he had, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. Orioles start, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. I know, again, the 3 starts he had prior to that, he did not go over this mark. There's a couple reasons I'm going with Sean Burke here. And I've said this before, say it again, I still like the White Sox pitching staff a lot, right? Adrian Hauser, a couple days ago, hit for us on the over strikeouts. It was a really low line. It was 3.5, but I looked at Adrian Hauser's first 2 starts for Chicago, and I was like, all right, he's been pitching well, and the reason why the Chicago White Sox, the reason why their record is what it is not because of their pitching staff. Their pitching staff has actually done a really good job considering the circumstances for this season, considering the fact that they get no run support. They've done a good job, and Sean Burke, obviously, at the helm of this pitching staff with a 4.20 ERA this season. The record obviously is 3-6 because his team doesn't get him run support. But right, look at those last 2 starts that he's had. When Sean Burke's pitching at his best, and when he's limiting, offenses, when he's not giving up runs, he's obviously getting strikeouts there as well. And I look at this game against the Detroit Tigers. I get it. I'm a huge Detroit Tigers guy this year. I'm not a fan, obviously, but I recognize how great this team is. I've been saying for a while that I think they're the best team in the American League. Do they actually get out the AL? I don't know, but we'll see. They're a scrappy bunch. They get base knocks. They get on base. They're tough to manage with. I get that. The last 2 pitchers that the White Sox have thrown against Detroit have seen a lot of success against this Detroit lineup. I know yesterday they threw an opener, but look at Monday, right? Jonathan Cannon goes 4 innings. He got knocked around. He still had 5 strikeouts. He was able, I believe he struck out Torque, if I'm not mistaken. He was able to find strikeouts even in a spot where he was getting lit up. So I look at Sean Burke and I say, okay, I like Jonathan Cannon. I think Sean Burke's better. I think Sean Burke is able to limit the damage more out of Detroit today. I really believe that. So I think he's going to go deeper than those 4 innings that Cannon gave them on Monday. And you look at, again, the last couple starts Burke has had. Baltimore 6 innings, Texas 6 innings. I know the starts against Chicago and Miami weren't great, but Kansas City 6 1/3, Milwaukee 6 innings. If we get 6 innings out of Sean Burke, we're hitting this line. I firmly believe that, right? We only need 5 strikeouts today out of the starter for Chicago. And I get it again. Detroit's got a great lineup. I'm not going to dispute that, right? Yesterday, a very tightly contested game played in the South Side, ultimately won by Detroit by a score of 5-4. But this is a lineup that's going to strike out, right? They've got good hitters up and down the lineup. Yesterday, again, 7 strikeouts as a whole. The White Sox, they threw an opener. They threw Schuster in the first inning, and he got lit up. He gave up 4 runs in the top of the first, and allowed 5 hits as well. But then they go to Vasil out the bullpen. He goes 3 2/3, and in those 3 2/3, he gets 3 strikeouts, right? So I think if you give Sean Burke that amount of work, he's probably going to find ways to get more Ks than what Vasil did. And it's just, you look at that start again, or you look at that bullpen appearance for him yesterday, and you look at the rest of the squad, right? I mean, Iser gets a strikeout, right? Freeman gets on the board with a strikeout. You just give Sean Burke an extended period of time in this game. I think he's going to find ways to get Ks. And it's not like yesterday was just one guy who was striking out for Detroit. Glaber struck out, Ibanez struck out, Carpenter struck out, Torkelson struck out, Perez, Dingler, Colt Keith. I mean, everyone up and down the lineup is going to strike out. And I think, again, Sean Burke stuff, I think it's pretty solid. I've spoken at length about how I think this Chicago pitching staff is actually not that bad. Obviously, again, right, their record doesn't reflect that. They're 19-43, but the reason they lose games is because of their lineup. Just look at their lineup. Miguel Vargas, I get he won AL Player of the Week a couple weeks ago. He still bats .230. They play Palacios every day. I love Michael A. Taylor, former Washington National, but my goodness, Michael A. Taylor is still playing every single day for the Chicago White Sox in the Big 2025. Exactly my point. So I think Sean Burke, again, given the circumstances, he's done well this season. I think Burke's able to find a way to get 5 strikeouts. Jonathan Cannon hit this line in 3 2/3 of 4 innings the other day. I think Sean Burke should be able to do it as well. The White Sox are playing at home, and they've been playing decent baseball so far in this series against the Tigers with the 8-1 victory on Monday. And the win 5-4, the last 5-4 yesterday. They've been playing good baseball. Against Detroit, and I think they cash in today. I'm taking on Tuesday they beat Detroit. Monday they got blown out. Regardless, I'm taking Sean Burke today on the over strikeouts. It is 4.5, and we're going with the over here for the righty for Chicago. Let's go on to our third best bet of the video. Is our second money line of the day, and we're going up to the 6th, to the north, to Ontario, Canada, for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Philadelphia Phillies. These two teams have split the first 2 games so far of the series. The first one went to the Phillies by a score of 8-3. That's the game, obviously, where Trey Turner and Bryce Harper went yard in the first inning. And then yesterday, a 2-1 game for the Toronto Blue Jays, a game in which Alejandro Kirk walked it off for the Jays. So now we get the rubber match here. Of course, getaway day for Philadelphia. I'm not sure if Toronto's going on the road after this. Regardless, though, it is getaway day. Actually, yes, Toronto's going down to Minnesota for the Minnesota Twins after this game. But regardless, it's getaway day. Obviously, Romano gave up the game-winning hit. I don't think it's a hot take at all. I don't think Romano's very good, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, he's been very shaky pretty much in every single spot I've seen him in this season. I mean, there's a reason his ERA is 7.54. I get it. I think he's getting a little unlucky, but at some point, it's like, when do you find a different closer? I don't know. I know the Phillies have called about Mason Miller. They should absolutely try to do everything in their power to get Mason Miller. Quick side note, Randy Rodriguez, guys, might be the best relief pitcher in all of baseball. I don't know. That guy does not get the recognition he deserves. He's got the lowest ERA in all of baseball right now. He's given up, 2 runs all season long? I don't know. I know the Giants are contending, but some team should call Randy Rodriguez. He's not even the Giants' closer. If they do Ryan Walker and Camilo Doval, they had Rodriguez bail them out last night. I'm just saying, that guy legitimately might be the best closer in baseball. If he gets actually put as a closer. He finally got his first save yesterday. I'm just saying, some contending team needs to get Randy Rodriguez. Anyways, sorry for the tangent. I think the Phillies win today. I think the Phillies beat Toronto, right? The final of this 3-game set. It's a Philadelphia team yesterday that was just ice cold, right? They had 5 hits all game long. Schwarber had 1, Bohm had 1, Castellanos had 1. I believe Realmuto had 1. Obviously, he went out with injury at the end of the game, so Marchand had to come in, and Brandon Marsh had a hit. That's fine, but when you think about it, they played a competitive game yesterday. They got really good innings out of their starting pitcher yesterday, McAble. ERA is now at .79 this season over his 2 starts. It's crazy. He pitched really well against the Pirates earlier in the season. He pitched really well again yesterday in Canada. But the Phillies were competitive in a spot where their pitcher obviously kept them in the game, and their guys 1 through 3 in Stott, Turner, and Harper did not give them any production, right? And Trey Turner arguably has been the best hitter for Philadelphia all season long. I think you can really make the case that's Kyle Schwarber, obviously because the way Schwarber's swinging the bat from the left side of the plate. But Trey Turner, right, a 300 hitter this season, OBP of 360, slugging 444. He's been doing a great job this year. And Bryce Harper, right, slowly but surely the average is up now, 265. We didn't expect him to stay in the 230s for long. Obviously, Harper came back from injury the other day in Toronto, hit a home run in the first at-bat that he had, because that's just what Bryce Harper does. Now, pitching matchup today, Jose Berrios versus one Jesus Luzardo. So now Luzardo's last start was not good for Philadelphia. It was against the Milwaukee Brewers. In 3 1/3 innings, he gives up 12 hits, 12 runs, 2 home runs, and 3 walks. That's an abysmal start. It is, right? It's just bad. He's due for a good one. Because that A start was good. It was a game where ultimately his team lost, not because of Luzardo. He went 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 10 strikeouts. But he's almost due to have a better start than that Milwaukee game. And I look at this Toronto lineup, honestly, and I just say, you know what? I know how good Guerrero is, right? I know how good Bichette is. Alejandro Kirk's having a good season. George Springer has been all right. But, man, it's still not a team that impresses me. It's really not. They're going to see a lefty today in Jesus Luzardo. Personally, I don't really care what handedness the pitcher is against Toronto. I don't think it really matters too much for me, honestly. And I think Luzardo should be able to really, have a lot of success against this team. I expect Luzardo to have about 8-ish strikeouts tonight, honestly. Again, we're not going to play that, but I think Luzardo is really going to run down this team. I'm not playing it because of the possibility he does get blown up. I highly doubt it, though. And I look at the other side, right? It is not Jose Berrios, it is Chris Bassett pitching for the Jays. 3.8 ERA on the season so far, but Bassett's last 2 starts, he's gotten blown up in. Against the Rays, it's a 13-0 loss for Toronto. Bassett goes 4 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs. Against the A's, it's a game that the Blue Jays ended up winning because the A's are incompetent at baseball right now, or they're just insufferable. They're horrible. Regardless, Toronto wins the game 11-7, but Bassett goes 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 home runs. Philadelphia should be able to really hit well against Bassett. Unk, who's 36 years old, out of Toledo, Ohio. I think Philadelphia is perfectly fine in the spot, if I'm being honest with you. Again, we expect Luzardo to be better, even with that horrendous blow-up start his last start on May 31st. 3.58 ERA in the season for Luzardo. He came into that Milwaukee start with a 2.15 ERA, and obviously that took him from 2.15 all the way up to 3.58. Luzardo should be much better today. Philadelphia was on a big run where they won 6 consecutive games where he started. I think the Phillies are going to be all right. I expect the bats to be better as well. Again, how many days in a row, and I know, again, it's just one, but how many times are Stott, Turner, and Harper all not going to show up? Team's too good for that. They are. Right? I believe they're still tied, or at least they're 1 game back of the New York Mets for the lead in the National League East. The Mets won yesterday, so yeah, they're a game behind. Regardless, though, Philadelphia is still a great team. We know they are. I still think they can win the World Series this season. I would honestly, I'm not going to bet on that, but I think there's a really good chance that they will. Harper's got to get one eventually is kind of my mindset there. But this is a good team. Luzardo's a good pitcher. Just had a bad start against Milwaukee. They'll be much better today against the Toronto Blue Jays. And I don't trust Chris Bassett at all. Right? Back-to-back starts where he's not been good. I'm taking the Philadelphia Phillies here. Give me Philadelphia. Next up, we go to our 4th best bet of the video. So this is the Nerfy I picked today to replace Cameron and Michaelis for Kansas City and St. Louis. I just like this one better. Mariners versus Orioles. So if you're counting, yes, this is our 4th non-night game today. And obviously, we're going to have a game for you in the nightcap with the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs. And also, we have NBA Finals too tonight. So, hey, Pacers spread. That's all I'm saying. Where we're locked and loaded on the Pacers. Plus 580. On Pacers series win, NBA championship win at this point. Regardless, the Mariners are just back to being what the Mariners are. They can't score. They have started to lose games now. They've dropped back-to-back against these lowly O's. First game on Tuesday, 5-1 victory for Baltimore. Yesterday, a 3-2 victory for the O's. The Mariners had Felix Bautista in a little bit of trouble late in the game, but obviously they had runners on first and second, 1 out. And in Mariners fashion, they did nothing with that. Anyways, we're just taking the Nerfy today. The odds on this is -120, and I can't pass up on this one. 2 pitchers that I kind of like. I like Bryan Woo a lot, right? Bryan Woo's really good, 2.82 ERA in the season. His last 2 starts haven't been, I guess, to Bryan Woo's standards because we know how good this guy is. Dare I say he's elite. But I mean, even those last 2 starts for Woo, it's games that the Mariners lose both in, obviously. Against Minnesota, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. Houston starts 6 innings, 10 hits, 2 runs. Bryan Woo's okay. And no, he's more than okay. He's good, okay? I don't trust the Baltimore lineup. I understand they're winning games right now. I still don't trust them, okay? Bryan Woo, top of the order. Jackson Holliday is likely their all-star. Probably O'Hearn, but anyways. And they'll probably give it to Jackson Holliday. Jackson Holliday is good. I'm going to take Bryan Woo in that matchup. Adley Rutschman has been mid. Gunnar is still... He's getting there, okay? Obviously, Gunnar didn't get his spring training. Came into the lineup, 3 weeks into the season. Henderson's batting .260 now. Yesterday, though, went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. I'm going to side with Bryan Woo there, okay? I honestly think the top half of the first inning is 1, 2, 3. I know how good Holliday is. Adley went yard yesterday, which means he's due for some damn regression. Adley's not doing that in back-to-back games. These guys batting .214 on the season right now. And then Gunner's good, but still, no, I'm taking Bryan Woo. Okay, Woo's going to get through Holliday, Rutschman, and Henderson. On the flip side, this is where I think it gets a little more complicated. Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin's ERA is 4.46 this season. His last start was phenomenal. How much do we put into that? I don't know. It's the Chicago White Sox. Chicago had him up against the ropes a couple times in that game, but ultimately Eflin always managed his way out of a lot of spots. Anyways, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 runs in that game. Chicago ended up cashing the +1.5 in the top of the 9th inning. Anyways, Eflin's 2 starts before that were really bad against the Red Sox and the Nationals. Boston, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. Nationals, 5 1/3, 10 hits, 8 runs. That was when the Nationals went to Camden Yards and just bitched Baltimore for 3 games. Anyways, I think Eflin will get us 3 outs. Eflin still got this stuff. I know he got blown up in the first inning against Washington on Sunday, May 18th. And Boston again scored 5 runs against him. But guys, it's the Seattle Mariners. Other than Cal Raleigh, okay? The most important out is Cal Raleigh, and it's not even close. All right, Cal Raleigh is going to be the catcher for Team USA. I can almost guarantee it, okay? Cal Raleigh is number 2. You know, MLB came out with their MVP races, and James Wood was nowhere to be found, by the way. It's ridiculous. Regardless, Cal Raleigh's number 2, obviously, in the American League, only behind Aaron Judge. Raleigh's batting .264. He's putting Seattle on his map. Already 20-plus home runs in the season. It's crazy. So basically, the objective today is for Zach Eflin is get Cal Raleigh and you're fine, okay? Not scared of J.P. Crawford, not scared of Julio Rodriguez. Arozarena is going to close his eyes and try to hit a home run. No, the fear is with Cal Raleigh, okay? So essentially, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, all right, we get minus 120 odds to set down Cal Raleigh, okay? Let's go, Zach Eflin. Go out there and get the 3 outs. I'm perfectly fine with Brian Wu. That's not the part that I'm really sweating. The sweating part does come in the bottom half of the first inning for me. If Eflin's able to get Crawford, I think he can parlay that into getting Cal Raleigh, and I'm not really scared of Julio. I'm just going to be honest. 2 hits yesterday. Yeah, Julio's due for some regression as well. So give me the Nerfy today at T-Mobile Park in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, Washington. Minus 120 for Baltimore and the Mariners. Let's go on to our final best bet of the video. It is our Washington Nationals best bet, and we are staying away from the money line today. I know we've taken Washington money line quite a bit. They won yesterday. Shout out to Mackenzie Gore. I'll get to that in a second. Ahmed Rosario, big shot as well. Regardless, though, we're taking James Wood on the over total bases today. It's 1.5. I don't want to say Wood's due, but I mean, 2 out of his last 3 games, he's not hit this line, which is a rarity for James Wood. Sunday against Arizona, he goes 0 for 2. He gets walked twice. Tuesday against the Cubs, he has a double in the 7th inning, I think, that ended up not resulting in anything. Regardless, he does hit for that game yesterday. Wood goes 0 for 3. Okay. Yesterday was just a tough matchup for everybody. It was Matt Boyd on the mound, all right, and obviously the Cubs struggled a lot with Gore. But anyways, the Nats couldn't hit Matthew Boyd until Ahmed Rosario flung the bat out there and somehow put one in the bullpen in right field. So I'm not going to put much in that James Wood bad performance. Today, it's basically Colin Rie as the starting pitcher for Chicago. They're going to open with Drew Pomeranz, which honestly makes a lot of sense. They look at the Nats lineup. They have 9 lefties in the lineup. Obviously, when there is a left-handed pitcher on the mound, they will replace, which I hate. They replace Luis Garcia and put Nasim Nunez in there. Again, Nasim had a huge hit yesterday, but it's just like, why are we sitting Luis Garcia down? Anyways, they'll hit Nasim. I assume Ruiz is going, I mean, regardless, Ruiz or Adams, but Ruiz can bat right. Ahmed Rosario is going to come in the lineup and bat right. Alex Call comes in for Dalen Lyle, he'll bat right. And Josh Bell comes into the lineup, or obviously Josh Bell just switches and bats right-handed as well. So all of a sudden, you have 5 guys who are going to hit from the right side of the plate, right? And then the 4 lefties obviously are Abrams, Hassel, Wood, and I'm blanking on the last one, Abrams. Anyways, I think I said it. Wait, did I not say Abrams already? Anyways, if not, no, Hassel, Wood, yeah. Hassel, Wood, Abrams, and Nathaniel Lowe. Anyways, that was bad. Regardless, I'm not putting anything into that. It makes sense why the Cubs are starting Pomeranz today. He's going to be their opener, and then they're going to go to Rie after. I think that's the only reason they're doing this is to make the Nationals make a decision about Ahmed Rosario. Because Rosario only plays against lefties, and if not, they'll go to Jose Tena. And Rosario, when he does play against lefties, he bats second. So how will the Nationals respond? Will they put Rosario in the 2, the guy who really led them to victory yesterday other than Gore? And how will the Nats respond? I don't know. I think the Nats will win today, but I like James Wood more, okay? A little worse odds than Nationals money line, but I think James Wood's going to demolish Colin Rie, personally, for me. Drew Pomeranz might be kind of a tough matchup, but we are playing this for later in the game, okay? We don't think James Wood's going to get this in the first inning for as much as I want him to. I don't think it's going to be early. I think it's going to be like a 4th inning, maybe his 3rd at-bat, but that's when I think James Wood cashes for us with an extra base knock. Again, it kind of feels like he's due. He hasn't hit this in 2 of his last 3 games. And for a guy of his caliber, batting .285 in the season, 16 home runs already, 45 RBI. Yeah, James Wood's going to be fine. He's going to hit this line for us today. The guy's only 22 years old. It's crazy. The Nats obviously coming off the victory yesterday. Crazy win. 2-0 victory for the Nats. And since nobody's having this conversation, I'm going to have it right now. Mackenzie Gore's a top 5 pitcher in baseball. Legitimately. Give me 5 pitchers you're taking over Mackenzie Gore. And I'll give you a couple right now. Tarek Skubal. Okay, in order. I'll give you Tarek Skubal. I'll give you Garrett Crochet. Okay, I'll give you Crochet. Actually, Paul Skeens, Crochet, and then I guess Logan Webb I'll give you. Maybe I would take Gore. Okay? Mackenzie Gore is the 4th or the 5th best pitcher in Major League Baseball. The only 3 guys I'm putting over him again are Skubal, Crochet, and Skeens. Okay? Mackenzie Gore's that good, guys. Yesterday shuts down one of the best lineups in all of baseball, okay? This isn't the Rockies. This isn't, the Giants. No, against the Cubs, 7 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. Those 3 hits all came in the first inning. They had 3 hits off Mackenzie Gore in the first inning. They loaded the bases, and how does Gore get out of it? Strikeout, pop out. Oh, he's that good. He's that good. He still leads baseball in strikeouts right now. Mackenzie Gore with 108 strikeouts, 2.87 ERA on the season. And yes, we are having the conversation now, not just about Mackenzie Gore being elite, not about, oh, he's an all-star now. No, he's top 5 in all of baseball. And they got him and Wood in the same trade, and Abrams, and Hassel plays every day as well. It's insane. It's insane stuff. He needs to start getting actual recognition. And I'm glad, again, the All-Star voting is not for fans for pitchers. It is chosen by the players and I think the media and the coaches. Gore's going to get that nod. He's not going to be the starter because it's going to be Skeens. But guys, I will make the case Mackenzie Gore is either the second or third best pitcher in the National League. Again, the only 2 guys are Skeens and potentially Logan Webb. Mackenzie Gore is that good. He's 26 years of age. He's still developing as a pitcher. He's done an amazing job, and I have to give a lot of credit, honestly, to Patrick Corbin, who took Mackenzie Gore under his wing, and they were great pals over in DC in the couple seasons they played together. You got to give Spider-Man some credit, man. He has got Mackenzie Gore going, and he is going to be a very good pitcher in the MLB for years to come. And obviously, the Nats don't win yesterday if it's not for Mackenzie Gore. Again, shout out to Ahmed Rosario hitting that home run. Nasim Nunez, the spark plug off the bench, rips one down the line and left. Nats win 2-0. Kyle Finnegan shuts the door. Send me to the pub, Kyle Finnegan. Nats win. They're only 3 games under. They can get to 200 today. I think they are going to win today, but again, I just feel like the better bet is James Wood. This guy, again, he's that good. He's on that Bryce Harper, Juan Soto trajectory, and when we don't hear from James Wood for a little bit, obviously, and when he doesn't make a huge statement in a baseball game, which he hasn't done so far in the Chicago series, you know something's likely coming. And I do think, again, huge spot for the Nats. You're trying to win another series against a really good ball club. They won a series in Seattle. They won a series in Arizona. They're trying to win their 3rd straight series against a really good team in the Chicago Cubs. And I think if they're going to win today, they need James Wood to be great. Jake Irvin, again, on the mound. I think Irvin's really good. I think Irvin's actually our 2nd best starter. Soroka, I guess, they're 3rd. And then I don't care about Mitchell Parker and Trevor Williams. Parker's better than Williams, but it's just all around. We have the guy we want on the mound. The Cubs are trying to play their games with their opener and Drew Pomeranz. Doesn't faze me. Colin Rie is eventually going to come in that baseball game. And James Wood's hitting a bomb off of him. So James Wood on the over 1.5 total bases. I think it's going to be a home run over Colin Rie. But it is what it is. We'll take it any way we can get it. Give me James Wood again on the over 1.5 total bases, plus 100 exactly for this spot. So folks, thank you all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for June 5th. If you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.